Have you ever looked at yourself and thought, why do I feel so different lately? Maybe you're more tired than you used to be. Maybe it's harder to focus. You forget little things. Your muscles don't feel as strong. Your hair doesn't look as healthy. By the end of the day, you feel completely drained. So you tell yourself, I'm just busy. Or maybe, this is probably just part of getting older. But what if it isn't? What if your body has been trying to get your attention all along? The truth is that nutrient deficiencies rarely happen overnight. They often develop slowly, quietly, and without obvious warning signs. That's exactly why so many people miss them. Instead of one dramatic symptom, your body starts sending small signals. Signals that are easy to ignore until they begin affecting your everyday life. Today, I'm going to share 7 essential nutrients that many people don't get enough of, the subtle signs that may be worth paying attention to, and simple food sources that can help support healthy levels. Some of these nutrients are well known, others might surprise you, and one of them is so commonly overlooked that many people have never even considered it. Let's begin. Hi, I'm Dr. Elena Quinn, and welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy learning practical, science-based ways to support your health and stay active for years to come, you're in the right place. Before we get started, remember that this video is for educational purposes only. Many symptoms can have different causes, and the only way to determine whether you have a nutrient deficiency is to speak with your healthcare provider, who may recommend the appropriate evaluation. Now, let's start with a mineral your body depends on every single day. Magnesium. Here's a question for you. Have you ever experienced muscle cramps in the middle of the night? Or maybe an eyelid that suddenly starts twitching for no apparent reason? Perhaps you sleep through the night, but still wake up feeling as though you never truly rested. Could it simply be stress? Absolutely. Could it be something else? It could. One possibility that healthcare professionals sometimes consider is magnesium intake. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions throughout the body. It helps your muscles contract and relax normally, supports nerve function, contributes to healthy bones, and plays an important role in turning the food you eat into usable energy. That's a pretty impressive job description for one mineral. Yet many people don't consume enough magnesium-rich foods on a regular basis. Because the symptoms can be subtle, low magnesium intake often goes unnoticed. You might feel more tired than usual. You may notice occasional muscle cramps or twitching. Some people find it harder to relax after a busy day or report poorer sleep quality. Of course, these symptoms can have many different explanations, which is why they should never be used to diagnose yourself. But they can be a good reason to have a conversation with your healthcare provider if they continue. So where can you find magnesium naturally? The good news is that it's present in many nutritious foods. Leafy greens like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews, black beans, lentils, and whole grains are all excellent sources. Even making a few small changes to your meals each week can help improve your overall intake. Now here's something interesting. Even if your magnesium intake is excellent, you could still experience persistent fatigue and difficulty concentrating if another essential nutrient is running low. And that brings us to vitamin B12. Vitamin B12. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Have you found yourself searching for the right word during a conversation? Or maybe you wake up feeling tired, even though you slept for 7 or 8 hours? Most people immediately blame stress. Others blame a busy schedule. Some simply assume it's a normal part of life. But have you ever wondered if your body could be missing something it truly needs? Vitamin B12 is essential for keeping your nervous system healthy, helping your brain function properly, and producing healthy red blood cells that carry oxygen throughout your body. Without enough B12, your body can't perform these jobs as efficiently as it should. The challenge is that a deficiency often develops slowly. At first, the changes may be almost impossible to notice. You may feel a little more tired than usual. Your concentration might not be as sharp. You may occasionally forget small things that normally wouldn't escape your attention. Some people also experience tingling or numbness in their hands or feet. None of these symptoms automatically mean you're deficient. Many different medical conditions can cause similar problems. But if these changes persist, they're worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Who is more likely to have lower B12 levels? People who eat little or no animal products may not get enough through diet alone unless they consume fortified foods or supplements. Older adults may also absorb vitamin B12 less efficiently than they did when they were younger. Certain digestive conditions and some medications can reduce absorption as well. Fortunately, vitamin B12 is naturally found in foods such as fish, poultry, eggs, dairy products, beef, and fortified breakfast cereals. If blood tests confirm a deficiency, your healthcare provider can recommend the most appropriate treatment. Now, here's something fascinating. The next nutrient is required in only tiny amounts, but without it, your thyroid cannot produce the hormones that regulate your metabolism, and many people don't realize they're not getting enough. Let's talk about iodine. Iodine. When most people think about nutrition, iodine is rarely the first nutrient that comes to mind. Yet this trace mineral plays one of the most important roles in your entire body. Your thyroid depends on iodine to produce hormones that help regulate metabolism, body temperature, energy use, growth, and many other essential processes. So here's a question. If your body isn't getting enough iodine, how would you know? The answer isn't always obvious. Symptoms can develop gradually and may include fatigue, feeling unusually sensitive to cold temperatures, dry skin, constipation, or feeling as though your energy simply isn't what it used to be. But here's what's important to remember. Those symptoms are extremely common and can have many possible causes. That's why it's never a good idea to assume you have an iodine deficiency based on symptoms alone. Instead, think of these changes as your body's way of saying, something deserves a closer look. In many countries, iodized table salt has helped reduce iodine deficiency dramatically. However, dietary habits vary, and some people consume very little iodized salt or avoid foods that naturally contain iodine. Good food sources include seafood, dairy products, eggs, and foods prepared with iodized salt. One thing that often surprises people is that taking extra iodine isn't necessarily better. In fact, too much iodine can also affect thyroid function. That's why supplementation should always be discussed with a qualified healthcare professional. Now, before we move on, let me ask you one more question. Have you ever heard of a nutrient that many people have never even thought about? Yet it's essential for healthy brain function, healthy cells, and even liver health? If not, you're definitely going to want to keep watching. Because next, we're talking about choline, one of the most overlooked nutrients in modern nutrition, and one that deserves far more attention than it gets. Choline. Here's something that may surprise you. Even people who try to eat a healthy, balanced diet may not get enough choline. And yet, this nutrient plays an essential role in your brain, your liver, and every single cell in your body. Choline helps produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that's involved in memory, learning, and muscle control. It also supports healthy liver function and helps maintain the structure of your cells. So, what happens if you don't get enough? A mild deficiency may not cause obvious symptoms, but over time, inadequate intake can affect normal body functions, especially in people whose diets are consistently low in choline-rich foods. Some research suggests that many adults don't meet the recommended intake through diet alone. The best food sources include eggs, lean meats, fish, soybeans, chicken, and certain legumes. One egg, in particular, provides a meaningful amount of choline, which is one reason eggs can be part of a nutritious diet for many people. But choline isn't the only nutrient your brain depends on. The next one has been studied for decades and is well known for supporting both heart and brain health. Omega-3 fatty acids. When you hear the words healthy fats, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For many people, it's omega-3, and for good reason. Omega-3 fatty acids are important components of cell membranes throughout the body, especially in the brain and the eyes. They're also associated with normal heart function as part of an overall healthy lifestyle. Unfortunately, many people eat very little fatty fish, which is one of the richest natural sources of omega-3s. Could that matter? It might. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, trout, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds can all contribute to omega-3 intake, although the types and amounts vary. Rather than focusing on supplements first, many experts encourage getting nutrients from food whenever possible. If you rarely eat fish or other omega-3 rich foods, it's worth discussing your diet with your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian. Now let's move to a nutrient your immune system depends on every single day. Zinc. Have you ever noticed that a small cut seems to take longer to heal, or that you seem to catch every seasonal bug that's going around? Many factors influence immune health, including sleep, stress, physical activity, and overall nutrition. One nutrient that's particularly important is zinc. Zinc supports normal immune function, wound healing, DNA synthesis, and many enzymatic processes throughout the body. Because your body doesn't store large amounts of zinc, regular dietary intake is important. Foods naturally rich in zinc include oysters, beef, poultry, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, and dairy products. Like every nutrient we've discussed today, zinc isn't a miracle cure. But getting enough as part of a balanced diet helps your body perform the jobs it was designed to do. And finally, let's talk about one of the best-known nutrient deficiencies in the world. Iron has one of the most important jobs in your body. It helps produce hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen from your lungs to every tissue and organ. Without enough iron, your body has to work much harder to deliver oxygen where it's needed. That's one reason iron deficiency can contribute to symptoms such as fatigue, reduced exercise tolerance, weakness, or difficulty concentrating. However, these symptoms are not unique to iron deficiency, and they always deserve proper medical evaluation. Iron deficiency can have many different causes, including inadequate dietary intake, blood loss, or certain medical conditions. That's why healthcare professionals usually recommend confirming low iron with appropriate testing before starting supplements. Excellent dietary sources include lean red meat, poultry, seafood, beans, lentils, spinach, and iron-fortified cereals. Eating vitamin C-rich foods alongside plant-based iron sources may also help improve iron absorption. So let me leave you with one final question. When your body feels different, do you automatically assume it's just part of life? Or do you stop and ask yourself whether your body might be asking for something more? Nutrition isn't about chasing the latest trend or finding a miracle supplement. It's about consistently giving your body the nutrients it needs to function at its best. Small choices, repeated every day, can make a meaningful difference over time. If you found today's video helpful, I'd love to know which of these 7 nutrients surprised you the most. Leave a comment below. I read as many as I can, and your questions often inspire future videos. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest evidence-based health content. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Elena Quinn, and I'll see you in the next video.